how come you can never make a Transformers series? I've tried so many times, folks, to make a Transformers series. But here's the problem. Every time I tried, my mind just immediately switched back to, the story just, and to me, it didn't sound like a Transformers story. If anything, it sounded more like something similar to a dinosaur story, a dragon story, or a Godzilla story. Plus, I don't have that many Transformer figures, and I'm spending most of my time collecting Godzilla, dinosaur, and dragon. So that's why I never made a Transformer story. So, yeah. What if the Ultimasaurus was in Jurassic World Dominion? Then they would have to make a huge team-up scene. Like, maybe have Spinosaurus, Rexy, Giganotosaurus, possibly Therizinosaurus, and a few other dinosaurs to help Rexy to take down the Ultimasaurus. So, yeah. Who is the worst Jurassic Park and World human character in the franchise, in your opinion? You already know I hate Kenji, so we're gonna leave him out of the board. We're not gonna mention him, because you already know I'm not a fan of Kenji, and I hate him. But for Jurassic Park character, I would say it's definitely John Hammonds' nephew. So, yeah. What do you think would happen if there was dinosaurs were still alive to this very day? I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know how to answer that one. I would say probably if there was a few small pockets of dinosaurs still alive, then I don't know. Yeah. To be honest, I don't really know. So, what got you the idea to have Shimo to be the first kaiju and the one who created the kaiju in most of your stories, even though it was explained in the novelization that she is not the mother of the kaiju in the MonsterVerse? Come on, how can I not have this kaiju basically create all the other kaiju in most of my stories? Besides, a lot of people declaring her as one of the most powerful kaiju besides King Ghidorah, Destroya, Space Godzilla, and Bagan. So all you gotta do is just simply change her origin story a bit more, make her older than Godzilla, and boom, even more powerful. So, yeah. So we know that the Velociraptors, Atrociraptor, and Pyroraptor, I'm not sure that's how you spell Pyroraptor, are basically the same size, the same size as a Utahraptor. But how big do you think the Utahraptor will be in the Jurassic franchise? I don't know, honestly. I really don't know. I mean, they could be bigger than the Indoraptor. In the end, I don't know. It depends. So I was always curious is when did you get the idea to have a thing where the kaiju and humans don't really get along with each other in your stories and kind of hate each other? Well, I mean, come on. The kaiju have been destroying the cities in Godzilla movies for a long time. That clearly means that they don't like humans. And it's already established in basically the Heisei, Millennium, and the Monsterverse that humans have no intentions of coexisting in peace with the kaiju. And they just want to eradicate them all. So, yeah. So a couple of my friends wanted to know if it's easy to create the story of the Megaverse, or if not. If it's not easy, then how difficult is it, even if you have some help? It's not easy creating the story of the Megaverse. Even if you have some help, even if I had some help, it's still difficult. Hell, it took me, King Ghidorah 2003, and Zilla 2000, literally almost 3.5 years to come up with the full story, like the origin story of the Megaverse itself. And this happened back somewhere when my YouTube channel, my old YouTube channel, was still a thing. Like, when I first made the profile video for Superman Godzilla Earth and it turned out terrible, we had to spend, literally, within a way, 3.5 years to create the full story of the Megaverse. And it took us 2.5 years to come up with the origin story of the Mankaiju gods. So remember, folks, it's not easy coming up with the story of your own universe. Even if you have help, it's not going to be easy, and it's going to be hard. No one says creating your own universe is easy. Even if you have some help, it's going to be hard. So we know that you ship Ruby and Oscar, but are there any other ships that you like for Ruby to be with? Well, surprisingly, no. The reason why is because I just don't kind of see another character that I like to ship Ruby with. There was Jean, but after what happened in Volume 9, I kind of stopped shipping the two. And now I'm mainly focusing on shipping Ruby with Oscar now. So, yeah. You did explain that Mega Void Ghidorah will send those who are not a part of the Mankaiju pack back to their universe if they attack the Mankaiju destroyers. But what will happen if someone attacks the Mankaiju destroyers while they are in their universe? If we talk about the Mankaiju destroyers being attacked by someone in the Megaverse, and those people or kaiju are the people in kaiju who exist in the Megaverse, then Mega Void Ghidorah will have no reason to send them to another dimension. But if the Mankaiju destroyers are being attacked by people if they were in other people's dimensions, then Mega Void Ghidorah will have no reason to be super protective of his army, because depending on how powerful those opponents are, he will back them up. If they're super powerful, then he'll back them up. But if they're not super powerful, then he will fully trust that his army will be able to handle themselves, basically. So, if the Godzillosaurus was real and was still alive to this day, how do you think this would change the way paleontologists think about dinosaurs, including I don't know what that was supposed to say. I'm pretty sure I was supposed to say rather including or of course, and of course. How do you think this would affect the ecosystem, like how it works back then and now? So if the Godzillosaurus was real and was still alive to this very day, I can imagine if we're paleontologists start to consider the possibility of other dinosaurs surviving. And since they were so against the idea of Nessie being a plesiosaur, and if they see the Godzillosaurus is a dinosaur and it was still alive to this very day, then they'll start to consider the possibility of Nessie being a plesiosaur. And how will this affect the ecosystem? For years, Tyrannosaurus Rex was the apex predator, but then the Godzillosaurus appears, it will be the apex predator. Even during the Pleistocene era, the Godzillosaurus would be the apex predator. So, yeah. So originally, Crystal Godzilla was going to be Mechagodzilla's adopted son. But after that whole situation, does this mean that he's no longer Mechagodzilla's adopted son? If so, will he get a new adopted son? Yes. Unfortunately, Crystal Godzilla is no longer going to be Mechagodzilla's adopted son. This means that Mechagodzilla is going to get a new adopted son. So, yeah. So, since that whole situation happened between you and, and since you two are no longer friends, will Super Mechagodzilla Earth get a new mate since, Space Biollante is no longer his mate? Yes. Super Mechagodzilla Earth is going to get a new mate. I currently have an idea at the moment, but I'm currently trying to come up with the origin story and her powers and abilities. So for now, I'm not going to reveal what she is yet, but yeah. So, moving on. So, we know when someone new joins the Mecha-Kaiju pack, they get a Mecha-Kaiju form. But I'm curious, do they get it right away? Of course, after you're done making them, or first the new members have to prove him or herself worthy, that they are worthy to earn it before they get to the training.